लक्षद्वीप की सुंदरता को शब्दों में समेटना बहुत मुश्किल है।
Hello and welcome to yet another episode of One Take. So what's trending? Well, the Prime Minister's pictures from Lakshadweep is definitely trending. And so much so that suddenly those who've never bothered to go and think of Lakshadweep as a holiday destination have now begun to Google, which is why travel sites like Ease My Trip, Make My Trip, all of them have reported a huge spike as far as the search for Lakshadweep hotels are concerned. Well, the government certainly has big plans, but this week I'm asking this question: is the Prime Minister the best brand ambassador for Indian tourism? No denying the fact, even when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, there's a very interesting tale that he once called the ad man Piyush Pandey and told him within 6 minutes, you have to come out with a story in which I can prop up Gujarat as a huge hotspot for destination. And that's when this entire ad campaign for Gujarat tourism began. Kuch din to bitaiye Gujarat mein aur Gujarat ki mitti. And that is when I think the Prime Minister's role and then the Chief Minister when he was defined as someone who believed that one of the main ways where you could put your state or your area into not just India's map but also the world map is when you give a huge boost to tourism. Because what tourism also does is build up ancillary departments and development. So there are lots of people who get to benefit when tourism develops or when a particular spot becomes a favorite vacation spot for the people. For example, jobs are generated, hotels, small street hawkers, all of them get a lot of employment and livelihood as well. And therefore, when he became the Prime Minister, this is something which he made it very, very clear about, that I want India to be the preferred destination. Therefore, it came as no surprise in 2016 when officially he became the brand ambassador of the entire campaign of India called Incredible India. And in that, the Prime Minister started promoting many areas he would visit, talk about it, and through his Mann Ki Baat of late, he has been mentioning places, urging people to put up selfies, put up pictures when they are travelling to India, different parts, unknown areas, which was often never known as much of a destination.
आज स्वच्छ भारत अभियान ने ये तस्वीर बदली है। जैसे जैसे स्वच्छता आ रही है, पर्यटन में भी इजाफा हो रहा है।
In fact, I remember, interestingly, in one of his Mann Ki Baat episodes, he also suggested that why have destination weddings abroad? Have it back over here in India. That is because destination weddings have suddenly become extremely popular. Apart from film stars who are having weddings abroad, like Anushka Sharma had in Italy, Deepika Padukone and Ranveer Singh had it there, there's this entire urging which is taking place of people who can afford it and who want to have destination weddings. Why don't you have it over here? Rajasthan, Goa, certainly they are very popular, but other areas are also now being projected. And if you have destination weddings, you're promoting an area, it comes on the tourism map, but apart from that, employment is generated. And that is where he emerges as a main brand ambassador. I remember, apart from Gujarat, even when he travels to Northeast, there were times when people would think it's so difficult to travel over there. It may be beautiful, it's untouched, it's scenic. But how does one go there? It was not much on the airline map. That is something which he has insisted upon, which is why going and traveling to Northeast states is not so much of a problem now, because you have more and more flights, more and more areas which are being covered. But apart from that, even ministers or chief ministers belonging to that area from the BJP are actually encouraged to go there. For example, I saw a picture of Kiren Rijiju, who is a member of parliament from Arunachal Pradesh, eating at a local joint in Arunachal Pradesh, and he is tweeting about it very aggressively. This is also part of the Prime Minister's plan, where you ensure that areas where normally tourists may have been reluctant to go or lazy, wondering whether I'm going to get any place to eat there, they are encouraged through these ministers, through the high-profile leaders as well. Film stars are also encouraged to shoot more and more in unknown locations. SOPs are also given by various state governments to ensure that either a film city comes up or more and more shootings take place. So whether it's in Northeast, whether it's in Kashmir, whether it's in Uttar Pradesh. But let's bring the focus back on the Prime Minister, because suddenly what is trending is that everyone is now talking about Lakshadweep. Many of us may have not already gone there, or who are planning to go may have found that it's difficult to get a hotel booking there. But now government is making it very clear that they want hotels to come up, and of course environmental green flag would be aired, but the coastline, the ecology, all of that would be protected. Cleanliness must be maintained. That's also something which the Prime Minister has hinged on. Gujarat certainly was the beginning of the Prime Minister as far as his being a brand ambassador is concerned. Very recently, I can think of the example of the Sardar Patel statue. Figures have shown, statistics shown that there was a huge spike in a number of tourists who were going there. And mind you, they were not just from Gujarat. They were actually coming in from, say, West Bengal, from Maharashtra, from down south, many other states as well, taking a picture because it was very beautiful the way it's been done up.
आज केवड़िया में बनी स्टैच्यू ऑफ यूनिटी पूरे देश का गौरव है। कोरोना काल शुरू होने से पहले बहुत ही कम समय में 45 लाख से ज्यादा लोग स्टैच्यू ऑफ यूनिटी को देखने आ चुके थे।
Even the waterfront which has built up in Gujarat, the Prime Minister going there, seaplanes being inaugurated, that's a part of a big plan where these places become no less than a foreign country. There are 2 points over here: Atmanirbhar, self-reliance, that more and more money is spent by Indians when they want to travel, and tourism gets a boost in these areas. So the Prime Minister himself travelling, whether he went to a Jim Corbett, whether we saw those pictures from him from Lakshadweep and in other parts of the country, Goa as well, and essentially urging the people that do spend your money, do travel, take your holidays, but instead of looking only at abroad, also focus on India.
बहुत मजा आ रहा है, बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस है। लाइफ में पहली बार मैंने ये एक्सपीरियंस किया है।
पूरे हिंदुस्तान को, पूरे देश को, पूरी कायनात को, सबको यहाँ आना चाहिए।
मेरा मन भी नहीं करता घर जाने का।
And the other thing is that also urging people abroad, because when you start showcasing these areas as tourism spots, you're also trying to invite as many foreign visitors as you can. Having e-visas, visas on arrival, facilitating and making it easier for the foreigners to travel to India and getting visas, it is actually propping up tourism. So in that sense, I would definitely conclude by saying that the Prime Minister, politics apart, certainly plays a very key role. And why just him? Prime Ministers across the world should, and heads of government and state should play a key role, because when they begin to travel, when they take time out, places which may have been unheard of, which is not visited much, start attracting a lot of attention. So I go back to this question I'm asking is that do you think a Prime Minister's pushing for Lakshadweep as a tourism spot is a good thing? Isn't it a good idea when the heads of government and states emerge as brand ambassadors for their country? Because it also shows to the people that if the head of the state or the government can travel to these areas, so can you. And now suddenly there's a lot of interest which is being generated as far as Lakshadweep is concerned. But the journey which was begun by the PM as a brand ambassador and pushing Gujarat as kuch din to guzaro hamare Gujarat mein is now being dotted in other states and other parts of the country as well. And therefore, when he became the brand ambassador of the Incredible India campaign as a part of the tourism sector, that campaign certainly has gained momentum. Thank you so much for watching, and do give in your reactions on the social media timeline as well.